I know. I'm terrible. I'm not, but whatever. Um, welcome, welcome. Are we good? Ah, all right. If you skipped the commercial, you robbed me. Just kidding. If you skipped the commercial, welcome to another episode of Talking Mando with myself, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and the two gentlemen to my top and bottom, the Nev and Paul from The Escape. It's just your slate in life, my friend. And they are from The Escape Podcast. Yes, a special guest, P.A. Crumb. Gotta love. Yes, after the episode, we will be frying up Crumb and trying out to see if Kowakian monkey lizard legs are better than frog legs. I no, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Um, oh, he doesn't get a voice. You don't give the chicken the option. That's yeah. Do you want to be food? Yeah, if we did that with cows, can you imagine? Good, good. Yeah. No, we'd still eat them. I I feel like those eggs would be terrible. Um, I'm trying to find the images. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about the last episode, the season finale of The Mandalorian. And stay tuned because at the end we're going to talk about the TV shows that this could kind of follow this platform. So, starting off last week or the week before last, we had this great moment. We are finally introduced to Moff Gideon, um, and like he comes out, he's got this thing, and he's like, all right, guys, give it up, or I'm gonna kill everyone. Um, it's a great moment, a wonderful cliffhanger. Like, what a way to end an episode. Uh, we don't officially know what has happened to Queel during the cliffhanger. I mean, I it, it wasn't said, and so it could have been something amazing. We could have had like a resurrection comeback. Yeah, and then we open, and then we also don't know what's been going on with IG-11. Um, the show opens up, stormtroopers coming to back to town with scout troopers. I'm sorry, scout troopers coming back to town with a special package, and oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Da, 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 da. I got. Let me see. I might have. Aha! Yes, Paul is reminding me that we disabled the audio. In how do we fix that, Paul? No. Open volume mixer. Let me scroll through sound systems. Zoom. Try it now. Can you hear us now? What about now? Can you hear him now? Checking. Yeah. Yeah, I want to hear how. No, balls. $20 says he comes back with booze. All right, speakers. Man, this is. Yeah, it is. Volume mixer. Zoom was never off for me. We did it somewhere on your side, I think. No. Audio, let me. Stand by. Dope. Can you hear us now? If you do, there's probably a lot of echo. Nada. Well, let's face it, you're hearing the best if you're only hearing me. Oh, balls. Audio output.
And there, so I did that one,
Hold
and then
on.
I did.
Did I fix it?
I don't know if you fixed it. Did you fix it?
Did I fix it? Nev is on!
Output.
Is Nev on? Nev is on. Oh no, yes, Nev is on.
So I
yes.
did
Oh, and I did.
Hold on.
I did.
Did I fix
Peter
it?
Gabriel.
So I gotta do this again for everybody that can now hear.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna blame the internet and probably Obama after that. Simply because
Just blame Finn.
No, it's not Finn's
I
fault.
thought everything was universally Finn's fault.
I do blame Finn because I was supposed to meet up with him at Disney Springs. I got to say hi to him, and then we were supposed to meet up at Galaxy's Edge on Monday, and he got pulled in all sorts of different directions. We never got to meet up and take our picture in front of the Falcon.
Oh no way. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
So I blame Finn.
I wrote a song just for Finn.
Did you?
I wrote a song for Finn. It's called Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman. But it's a parody of the song Doctor Doctor.
Doctor.
Give me the news. I got a bad all right. But obviously it's not Doctor Doctor. Give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. It's Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman. I've got a bad case of the Swagger Blues.
The Swagger Blues. Nice.
Drevin X won't cure my ill.
Nice. That being said, let us jump into this.
Yes. Now that we're back.
Now that we're back.
Now that we're let's go ahead.
We were never gone.
No one's ever really gone.
Yeah, no one's ever really gone.
We've got 4 minutes of comic relief to start this episode. We have 4 minutes of just sitting there laughing, but on the same thing, they created the most hated characters in Star Wars to date.
Absolutely. You don't F with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, no.
Oh, let's face it, how many times have we, I'm sure that, you guys are all better people than me, but, how many times have you ever wanted to, pop a kid, just stop laughing, stop, or a dog, or I say dog, maybe a cat, I don't know, but,
I'm a peaceful parent, so I don't believe in the use of force against anybody, even threatened is bad. So, yeah, I really didn't like those guys.
You are missing out because one of the joys of being a parent is to threaten kids. But, yes. my violent streak aside, wow, I loved that banter back and forth between those two stormtroopers. Played by? Who were they?
Played by Adam Pally, who also is known as Dr. Peter Pentis in the Mindy Project.
Okay.
And Jason Sudeikis.
Really?
I recognized his voice. I did recognize his voice.
Awesome. So I wonder if there's so many like adult
and
Star Wars fans that are like TV stars and movie stars. I wonder how much they'd have to pay people like that, or if it's like, just put me in, I will be a volunteer. You know?
No, they've still got to be paid. They've still got to be paid the equity minimum wage because it's a union.
That makes
the
sense.
Actors.
That makes
sense. They still have to be paid the minimum. But what they tend to do is waive their usual fee for the union minimum.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just so that they can be in it, and it lowers the budget.
Yeah.
Because obviously the big stars tend to, like a bit like Samuel L. Jackson did for his 3 Star Wars movies. He waived his usual fee in all 3 of those movies, and he took the equity minimum wage.
Cool, I didn't know
so that it wouldn't overinflate the budget.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jason. And by the way, Jason Sudeikis was the one who punched him twice.
Oh,
Adam Pally just punched him once.
Well, in all fairness, Adam Pally, Yoda did bite him. I mean, he bit him. And he was just curious. Yeah. And he was the one that wanted to get him a glass of water. You know?
No, Adam Pally was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Pally was. But I loved that back and forth. And then, how awesome was it when IG-11 walks up and is like, I've got to ask you to stop. You know?
Yeah, no, I was watching that and my mind instantly went to, ooh, I bet Paul's getting wood. Just Paul is definitely getting wood just watching this. It's like, whoa, IG-11. Whoa, IG-11's back, baby.
I wouldn't say I was getting wood, but I was certainly that is awesome. That is
really,
that's mine. I did that myself.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me.
I have a little bit of artistic talent in me. So here's the, like, I loved that, but then the whole back and forth was like, I am under asteroid. I am here to protect.
Aren't they hunters?
Like, that was such an awesome moment. I'm like, I freaking love that. That was wonderful. Paul, I interrupted. Go.
Oh no, I was saying, aren't they hunters?
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, IG units are normally hunters.
Yeah.
I am here to protect the child.
Oh.
I was surprised when he started heading into town, though. I thought he would head to the ship. My first thought was brilliant. You know, he's going to get the kid to safety. He's going to take him to the ship, and they're going to be able to lock it down, and then he's going to be able to communicate to the Mando, and then it's like, you know, they've got that kind of bargaining chip. You know, they should be able to escape, because it was obvious that Moff Gideon was giving them so much time to surrender because he didn't have in his possession, you know, he didn't have Baby Yoda in his possession. So that's the way I thought that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was happy with the way the story did go. I was just thinking, laterally, you know, he's going to go to the ship. Baby Yoda's going to be safe. He's going to communicate back to them, and the story's going to progress that way, and there'll be a big breakout and stuff like that. But what we got was, you know, a million times better. And, what we got was just, you know,
we didn't even know that he was heading back to the ship until after the segment where we head back to the meeting spot where they meet with the client and the Mando and the everybody's there. And then all of a sudden, Moff Gideon starts rattling off the names of the characters. We get a name reveal.
Okay.
Or we get back, you know, we find out why she doesn't like the Empire, because she's from Alderaan.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
When I heard that she was from Alderaan, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so that explains the line where he said, oh, you know, they're Imperial. She just wants to kill Imperials because they destroyed her home world, which makes perfect sense.
So this makes me wonder, in canon, in new canon, I say new canon, in canon. Sorry, Nev, but in canon, you have Leia, the Leia comic. It's a 5-part series where she goes through and she brings about Alderaan, right? And she gives the survivors of Alderaan, who were off planet at the time, a new home world to kind of call their own. During the comic, you see Nia Nub and you visit Solus. It's a really cool series, but it makes me wonder if she was one of those characters. I want to go back and reread it now. I mean, again, it's a short book series, but I want to go back and reread it now just to see if maybe we get a mention, right? Maybe we get just a small name and that we just missed, because no one thought to look in a book about or a comic about Alderaan, about Leia during the rebellion, because why would you, right?
Yeah, just like how Snap Wexley is in Aftermath as a kid.
Oh, Snap! Lots of emotions with Snap for me. I won't say anything, but anyways, I loved that. I love that. Now I will say that with this whole reveal, this was not the first time that we've heard this character's name. It is the first time in the show. But Pedro
Pascal.
Thank you. I can never get his name. The Mandalorian.
What a way to be racist.
I know.
He is forever the Mandalorian.
He's the Mandalorian, right?
He's the Mandalorian from now on.
The Sand Viper. He did an interview. It was him and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, and he went off. He gave a name drop. He gave who the main characters of the show were going to be, and this was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago that I saw it, and it was mind blowing. I actually did a video that was this is the Mandalorian's name, and it wasn't a huge thing because people are like, oh, it's just a name. But how cool was it? The way that it was tied into everything, right? The way that it was tied into the extermination. They gave that battle the Night of 1,000 Tears. Is that
the Night of 1,000 Tears was the name of the slaughter of the Mandalorian race.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, not a race, but
a
creed.
A creed. So this makes me wonder: are they going back on what George Lucas said when he said that Jango and Boba were not Mandalorians? Or is this going to flesh that out? Maybe at one time they were Mandalorians, and now they no longer are. Have you guys heard that? Or am I...
you can wear the armor, but you can wear the armor, but you cannot be Mandalorian because you haven't sworn the oath.
That's true, I guess. That's true.
So, wearing Mandalorian armor does not make you a Mandalorian. Swearing the oath and living by the credo makes one a Mandalorian. Wearing the helmet, never taking it off, and so on and so forth. I mean, you got to remember that they wear these things as kids. Look, go back to episode 1 where he first goes into the tunnels and you see the foundlings. You see the kids running around. They've got the helmet. Their heads are completely covered. So there are kids. There are kids in there are kids in those tunnels.
That's true.
So you kind of get a feel for it. So yeah, I would. George Lucas may have been 100% right. Boba and Jango might not have been Mandalorians. They may have been Mandalorians and then renounced their oaths and just kept wearing the armor, but because they wear the armor and the helmet, people will always refer to someone they see wearing it as a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So it's good cover.
Yeah.
But, I like the fact that we find out that Moff Gideon was just he was a lowly ISB officer. He was a lowly Imperial Stormtrooper battalion officer, which makes me think money. He's rich. He's got rich parents, and that's why he was an officer. You know, he had somebody, someone wealthy, whether it's a dad or a grandfather, and there's money in his family. I mean, look at his soldiers, and he's got his own so he's got all of this money. I mean, for goodness sake, he's got what we all saw at the end of the episode as well. So clearly this guy's got a lot of money.
True.
And he's gone from being an officer to a moth. You know how self-grandiose.
Oh my gosh. So here's the thing though. Keep in mind that there were other ISB officers, like famous ones that that we know. You've got Admiral Yularen becomes an ISB officer, and so they're not all like evil necessarily, or they're not all I don't know, like they're not all necessarily from high-ranking families, but we do know that to have Death Troopers assigned to you, and that's what the Dark Troopers are, right? The troopers in the black helmets.
Yeah, Death Troopers. Yeah,
Death Troopers. You have to be important. I mean, it's not a little thing.
Like a status symbol.
Yeah, and Callus here says that Pawn says that Callus was ISB, and that's true. I have a whole theory about Yularen that I think he survived the Death Star. Just saying. But the idea though is that he is powerful. Not just he didn't just have one or two. He had half a dozen, 6, 8 Death Troopers. This guy is important, and the fact that he's willing to kill his own men, and his men won't revolt, even after everything that they've gone through, says either the fear or the inspiration that they have, or whatever, for this man is high. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, and the fact that he was damn good with a pistol, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. He clearly wasn't just a stormtrooper.
We'll get to that in a second. You know, we did have so IG-11 driving back does confirm Queel's death.
Yes.
When he's driving back. And then IG-11, we find out, is bringing the child directly to the front lines, and that's when we get the very best little picture of the child just smiling. Yeah, exactly.
He's smiling at the death and carnage that IG-11 is causing, and
that he's on the bike. He is.
Sure, that could be it. It could be as simple as a child sticking his head out the window. But I'm taking it as this is a Darth Yoda. Darth Baby Yoda, and he is he's just happy that people are dying. But that was such a cool moment, and to see IG-11 shoot the stormtroopers that were like harassing the Jawa. I mean,
and the Jawa's still alive. Yes.
Jawa's just like looking around like, what happened? I loved that. That whole intro, and then seeing the versatility when he's being shot at to switch his body around and start like still shooting, and I thought that was awesome. I thought that was so cool.
What I liked most about that scene was the fact that the stormtroopers were 501st.
I didn't notice that. 501st being
the fan.
The fans.
The fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
all the stormtroopers that were in
Filoni and Favreau did not have enough stormtrooper outfits.
Yeah.
To shoot the scenes for that sequence. So the 501st were called in, and they came in, they got paid, and money was given to the usual charity that they usually do their stuff for.
Yeah.
And they all got like selfies with yeah, I just thought that was incredible. I thought that was awesome. Yeah. I really, really did. I thought that was so awesome because, it's like, okay, so you know the special effects, because they'll have done mock like fights before, but now they actually get to pretend to die, in front of a camera, so it's like they can put on their best death scenes. I mean, I there was one guy that I swear there was one guy that ran and did a full loop the loop, and I'm just watching him, thinking to myself, yeah, milk it, buddy, milk it, man. Just because it was a full leap up into the air, somersault, and then come crashing to the ground, and I just thought, so, if your only scene is to die, milk it.
Yeah. I will say that's one of the cool things. I mean, if you look at Filoni, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, super fans. I mean, they're not just like, oh, hey, we're making a Star Wars. They're like legitimate super fans, right? You look at Pedro, and this is why I always forget his name, Pedro
Pascal.
No, not Pedro Pascal. Pablo Hidalgo. That's the one. Super fan. I mean, he's like what, running essentially the Jedi archive for Star Wars, right? He's and people went to him because he was one of the most knowledgeable fans, and now he works for Lucasfilm.
Hey, he's a shill.
Yeah, well, still, but like that's awesome. That's an awesome thing. Like if your dream was to be part of Star Wars, and then because of your knowledge,
come on, Nev.
That's
don't
freaking
be a douche.
Cool. But then here's the thing. All of those people, all of those 501st who are passionate about what they do, who are huge fans of the universe, are now in the universe. And,
so jealous.
And
who wouldn't want to do that?
And here's the thing. Their armor that they have custom made is now film production. It's like its value has increased because it's been in The Mandalorian. Like, that's awesome.
Film stuff they make is good enough.
Yeah, film use. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I remember the interview that when Filoni talked about bringing those guys on, he's like, a lot of our actors, a lot of the people who didn't know, like, kind of the Star Wars type stuff, were reaching out to these 501st characters and standing in line and like, hey, give us tips on how to do this. How do we behave? How do we do certain things? And Filoni says that he's like, I didn't have to direct these guys. They knew, and they helped other people get in line. He's like, when I shot this scene, it was easier than like a lot of the other stuff because I didn't have to go into depth. I didn't have to do a lot more of directing because they knew how to do it and they could do it themselves. And I was blown away when I saw that. I think that I agree, Nev. That's awesome. Awesome.
Now, speaking of being blown away, the next thing that happens in the episode is we get the big fight. They're getting out of the cantina. Cara Dune takes down a bunch of Death Troopers inside to get outside to where Mandalorian is doing work, but then Moff Gideon, as we said, can work with a pistol.
Oh yeah.
At that point had picked up the E-Webs blaster off the tripod and was using it. I don't know how that thing is heavy.
Oh sure.
But he was going to town. But then Moff Gideon gets the idea that the next best thing, instead of shooting the Mando and having to deal with Beskar, would be to seriously concuss him by taking out the E-Web battery pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's fascinating about that is again, this is what makes it so cool, that opening shot where they're trying to hit the target practice and sucking, and then you have Moff Gideon walking up, one shot, boom, and hits him. That shows.
I'm sure he's probably got much better equipment.
Potentially, but like assuming that he's just better. Like the subliminal idea is he's better, right? He wasn't. I'm not trying to split hairs. I'm just just saying that trying to find a chink in his armor much harder than shooting at a great big box.
The big box, much better target. You don't need to be a crack shot to be able to hit that great big battery box. Because I mean, he wasn't exactly an amazing shot in his TIE fighter, right? Was he? So I don't think we're dealing with someone who's a sharpshooter, but we are dealing with someone that's nasty, because it's like, okay, fine, I'm not going to get through your armor, but I'm just going to blow up that battery box and it's going to mess you up. And boy, did it.
And again, that throws the idea that like Moff Gideon is a tactician of some sort. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows that while he can't kill the Mandalorian or take him out with just a blaster, he can disable him with a shot like that, with an explosion.
Well, he almost did. Now, if we get any of the dark side characters from the Mandalorian, we gotta get Moff Gideon in Swaga if we get it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I 100% agree.
And we're gonna get the flamethrower trooper.
Oh, I downloaded it and I'm not sure where it went, but like I tried to add the pictures. There's a bunch of new Funko toys that are out, and we were talking about this before. As soon as they go live, I will be purchasing most of them and keeping them on my wall back here. The Flame Trooper was.
I've got
awesome.
one that I wish I would have gotten two of them.
Yeah.
I really want to send you the Hondo Pop.
Well,
you'll get it in due time.
Well, I am going in at the end of January. I'll be heading out to Disneyland. I'll be picking one up while I'm out there. So
there you go.
But I appreciate the sentiment. So the Flame Trooper comes in, and awesome moment, right? Like Yoda, baby Yoda, 3 fingers it, and like sends the flames back on him. That was such a
you got to say it right. He did the magic hand thing.
The magic hand thing, which depending in the situation could be inappropriate, but here it works out. He did the magic hand thing. He used his fingers appropriately, and he sends the flames back. And what's funny is I was watching that with my daughter, and she's like, what's awesome, Dad? He uses the Force, then takes a nap. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And so we rewound it, and she's like, watch. He uses the Force, takes a nap. And I was like, he's got this life thing down. I mean, he doesn't need much more, do hard work, take a nap, right? But
there is we're jumping ahead to kind of our show and tell thing. We'll actually go into show and tell in a second, but I was at Galaxy's Edge this weekend and we saw phone cases with Yoda, with the baby Yoda, the child.
Yeah.
Said he attack, he has a nap. That is now official.
That
official
is awesome.
Star Wars merchandise.
That is awesome. Oh, I love it. I gotta say though, when they bring the body of the Mando back in, Din Djarin, this was one of the more powerful moments for me, emotionally. Right? He was ready to give up. Right? He was ready to just say, hey, I mean, he even says it, leave me, let me die a hero's death.
Nev, did Thaddeus just become a robot to you?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Did I?
That sounds kind of cool.
What?
Okay.
Oh, no, he's gone back to normal now.
Okay,
he sounded
back to
cool
normal.
and robotic.
Yeah, you sounded like IG-11 for a moment. It was great.
Okay, good. Well, I mean,
No, you're back to IG-11.
I'm glad. Anyways, so I loved the moment there where he's like, I'm giving up. I'm doing this. You see Cara Dune, who's like, no, you can't give up. We're in this together. I just freaking loved it. Is it my mic?
Thaddeus, say, yeah, it is. But before you try to fix it, please say, I will initiate self-destruct.
I will initiate self-destruct. Is it my mic? What's going?
No idea.
Think it's your mic.
Did it
I don't know what
happen?
it is.
Well, it's been doing it for about a couple of minutes now.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we're going robot then, because I'm not even going to attempt to fix it. And if it's bringing Paul this much joy, how could I take that away from him?
You sound like the droid from Jabba's palace that interrogates C-3PO. You are a protocol droid, are you not? Just say that. Go on, say it.
You are a protocol droid, are you not?
That's it. That's it. That's the voice. That's exactly what it is.
I don't hear anything. I'm
okay.
Anyways,
so apparently it's Zoom to us. You guys hear him normal, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Hopefully you're recording this, Paul, because I got nothing. I'm not hearing. Anyways.
Okay, that's fine.
I gotta say, I just love that moment. And then they all escape. They're going in IG-11 in The Mandalorian. That moment right there was I just felt like it was really powerful. It was the Mandalorian showing vulnerability to something that he has detested, quite possibly from childhood. I mean, well, we know from childhood because we saw the flashback as to what happened. That was a powerful moment to me. And, the IG-11 is like, I haven't, Mando's like, I can't show my face to any living person. The Mandalorians, or the IG's like, I am not a living thing. I am, I loved that. I thought it was great. I absolutely did.
Yeah, well, he was. I mean, I think he was clearly he was projecting, because obviously he just found out that Quill was dead, because IG-11 had told him that Quill was dead. Was dead. So I was thinking, he knows that this IG-11 unit is now his last tether to Quill, who is dead because he asked him to do something. And he is dead because of what Mando did. Yeah. So it's like, he's kind of he's thinking, he's not thinking of, I don't think he's thinking of IG-11 as a droid or IG-11, but an extension of Quill from that point on, from the point that he discovers that Quill is no longer alive. It's like, okay, this IG-11 unit was, made with the love and care and affection of someone that he's responsible for dying. So, he now has to be responsible for them. He wants them to, continue and go on.
Yeah.
Because you saw how concerned he got later on in the tunnel with him.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, like,
yeah. Speaking of the, before that, IG does get to remove his helmet. Yep. We see the Mandalorian's face for the first time. And my wife was like, "That's what he looks like."
I gotta say, he needs to keep the helmet on. He is a handsome man. He is, but war battled and sweaty and dying is not a good look for him.
No. But he apparently, IG-11 tells him that he suffered damage to his central processing unit.
Yes, which I love that.
You mean my brain? Yeah. Comic relief is great in this.
It really is. It's really well parsed throughout. It's not all at once. It's not over the top. It's just well done. I love it.
Except for Jason Sudeikis, may he rot in hell.
Yes, may he rot in hell. It just gets.
So they get to the sewers. They get to the sewers, and they find a pile of Mandalorian outfits. No bodies, just the armor shedded. I was scared that there was going to be a head inside one of those helmets. Thad and Neil, I really was.
I was too. Like at first I thought they were bodies. I was like, whoa, this took a very dark turn. But knowing what they gave up to flee is almost darker than having them die, because instead of shedding, they're by taking off the armor, they're taking off who they are. You know?
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, that's just a very difficult thing to take. It's a powerful moment, you know? I thought that was.
I hope that the big one with the automatic one. I hope he didn't take his helmet off.
I know,
because I don't imagine all of them did it. Some of them would have, maintained their armor so that they could have got everybody else out. True. So that they could have made their retreat and escaped out of the tunnels, so that they could, go, and then the ones that didn't remove their helmets could go and reestablish.
I think Jon Favreau did remove his helmet.
Yeah.
Because that was Pac Vizsla or something like that.
Yeah, he was a Vizsla.
The one with the big jetpack at the end of the movie.
With the cheesy salute in episode 6.
Yeah. I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah. And he does.
He does, but not before he gets his signet.
Yes.
Which did you look at the signet closely, guys?
It's a Mudhorn.
Yeah. Mudhorn.
It is the Mudhorn.
And
it is the Mudhorn.
And he is
in a clan of 2.
Oh. Now, the implication again of this. He's like, so you tell me he's a foundling. And from now on, I am his father until I find a race of force-wielding enemies,
or he comes of age.
Which,
yes.
There could be at any...
Which could be
he's
at any...
50
He's 50 at the moment. When does he come of age?
Yeah.
That's the part I don't get is, what is the equivalent of him coming of age?
250, probably, would be my guess.
So the Mandalorian will be dead by then.
Yes. Long dead before Baby Yoda hits puberty, which might be a blessing. I gotta say though that the implications of this are huge. The image I have here is Baby Yoda holding a Darksaber, right? That's the image for the screenshot.
Right.
But let's face it, guys. The Mandalorian is probably going to teach Baby Yoda things, right?
He's going to teach him how to be a Mandalorian. It's going to teach him the code.
Yeah.
And at some point,
I want to see a Baby Yoda Beskar helmet.
At some point, maybe season, maybe not necessarily season 2, but maybe season 3, season 4, they're going to come across a Jedi.
Yep.
That's going to teach him how to be a Jedi. So he's going to be a Mandalorian
Jedi
with Jedi training, which instantly makes me think of Jaina Solo.
Oh my god!
From the extended universe, who was a Jedi Knight trained by Boba Fett to be a Mandalorian warrior in order to defeat her brother, who was Darth Caedus. In terms of the so.
How cool would it be if Baby Yoda was this canon's Jaina Solo? I mean, it would be fun. It would be fun.
The thing is, they've created a character, and I've heard people refer to Baby Yoda as a gimmick. The one negative person that I've seen tweet about him, it's like Baby Yoda's a gimmick, and I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, okay, fine, but what's wrong with the rest of the TV show? Yeah, but it's just it's like no, that's fine, okay. You've said that he's a gimmick. What's wrong with the rest of the TV show? Yeah. And they got no critique of the rest of the TV show. Now, there is a gimmick. The gimmick is Baby Yoda's age. This character can literally exist in Star Wars TV and movies for a very, very, very long time. They can effectively put Baby Yoda, then preteen Yoda, then teenage Yoda, then millennial Yoda, then baby boomer Yoda, then
hipster
Yoda, then midlife crisis Yoda.
I was using the Force before it was forbidden.
Oh my gosh, and they could, and it does span. It's
he has to be trained. He has to be trained as a Mandalorian, and he has to be trained as a Jedi to be like ultra badass.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, and I think that's what they're going to do with it. I think that's where their focus is going to be.
because his he needs some Force training so that to kind of to move Filoni and Favreau away from the overuse of his Force abilities. If you catch my drift, I mean, I wasn't to be 100% honest with you, I wasn't that bothered. Somebody said I bothered by the by his ability to stop the fire and force it back towards the soldier, and I'm like, no, that's a self-defense thing that most Padawans would be able to do off the top of their heads. And it is, and that's in Jedi law. I mean, the Jedi apprentices have flung entire fleets of Star Destroyers across space as apprentices. So one little baby Yoda, using the Force to block some fire and then throw it back. It's not actually that big, but it was made wonderfully dramatic by the music and the cinematography.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coolest fight scene in this episode specifically, but quite possibly in some of the other episodes, was the badassery that was the female forger when the stormtroopers,
the armorer,
right? When the stormtroopers came in. Oh yeah,
Emily Swallow. I'd love to know if it was her or if it was. I really, really would love to know if it was Emily Swallow that did it or if it was a stunt double because they got a helmet on.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but wow,
because her tweet was awesome.
What was her tweet?
She did a hang on, I'll bring it up while you talk about it. I'll bring up, but she did do a brilliant tweet.
This fight scene with the armor and the 4 stormtroopers,
that was such an awesome one.
It was gruesome.
Oh my god,
it was brutal. Oh. It was so brutal.
Yeah, like goodness.
When she flips the stormtrooper into the forge.
All right, okay, so we know that Navarro is by the end of the episode is clean, right? There's potentially no more stormtroopers, which means potentially it's safe for the 2 to stay, right? Which means that armorer.
No, they're not, and we'll get to why later.
Okay.
Because if I say anything, we'll spoil the ending.
Okay, so then the question that I ask is, like, if the forger is there, right? What is is she gonna have to clean out all of that body? Like, is she gonna have to go through and shovel out the stormtrooper, or is that,
It's melted. It's melted. It'll be fine.
Okay, so it could be. I'm liking this. I'm just looking at her Twitter feed, and I think she may have very well done it herself. She tweeted that she's so thrilled that so many of you dug the showdown between the armor and the stormtroopers, and she has to give a big shout out to her fight choreographer Ryan Watson. Mm-hmm. His vision for the fights were absolutely brilliant. # This is the way.
This is the way.
I desperately try to find the one that she said from her husband because it was so funny.
Is it the Lego one?
No.
Because that's awesome. I'm loving. So I'm going to post it here in a second. But yeah, so awesome. Just a great fight scene between and again, showing that this is not just a Mandalorian who makes armor, but that she can walk the walk, right? And if and up until this point, she's been kind of the one in charge of the Mandalorians, right? People have gone to her, or at least our Mandalorian has gone to her and used her as kind of like the guide or the guru, and this shows why. This shows why she's so important, and not just that. Hey, yeah, she can put armor together, but oh my gosh, can she do a bunch of other stuff? I mean, I thought that was so freaking cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'm reminded of a million and different one things because there's 5 of them around her, and you're like, dudes, you know, you're stormtroopers. You are the red shirts of the Star Wars universe. Clearly, this chick is about to absolutely pound you into the ground. You should just lie down on the floor now and give up.
Yeah.
Like from Austin Powers, Gold Member, where Michael Caine character says, "Look, you don't even have a name tag. Go on, just lie down and pretend I've beat you." She should just, I'm going to kick your ass. You should all just lie down now. You jump in the fire. You smash your face off. You slap yourself in the face a few times.
Yeah.
She handles those tools so well.
It was amazing. It was so cool. Seeing if I can bring them up now. I just downloaded a bunch of stuff. So then they go into the tunnels. They make their escape after a moment of hesitation by the Mandalorian. And then they get to the tunnels and they get on the boat. It was cool to me to see an R2 unit of some kind, or an R unit of some kind.
Astromech.
An astromech, thank you. Do what he did. I loved the legs. I loved the arms. I loved seeing him stand. I thought that was freaking awesome.
Yes. Yeah. The standing gondolier.
Yes.
Is that what they're?
It's a gondola. It's a gondola.
Yeah.
Like in Venice, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only on lava.
and so the lava lets out at the mouth of this lava flow, but the stormtroopers figure out where this is, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it, guys. They try to figure out what they will do, and the only way to be able to get past all of these stormtroopers was for the character that I've loved since episode 1, IG-11, to finally initiate self-destruct.
Oh, dude, that was hard. Like that was hands down one of the roughest moments for this whole season.
That
to me was like Quill to Nev.
Yeah, no, that was to me that wasn't IG-11 laying down his life. That was the Mandalorian looking at IG-11 and thinking, this is Quill. You know, Quill has put his heart and soul into this droid, and now this droid is laying his life down for the rest of us. So he's not thinking of it as a, an inanimate object, a droid. He's thinking, he's thinking of it as, something made with the bare hands of Quill.
Yep.
With heart and soul, something made with, passion.
Yep.
Because Quill always goes on about how, he works with his hands and, he's proud of what he does and what he makes. And we got the montage.
Oh, yeah.
All you got to do is look at that montage and you see from the montage of him training and having to, make IG-11 learn everything over again. And that's what made it so emotional. If that had just been some random droid, there would have been no emotion in it whatsoever.
No, yeah.
It wouldn't have been as powerful, but because it's IG-11, it's the new IG-11,
Yeah.
And it's the last piece of Quill, because once he destroys himself, that's it, there's no more Quill.
Yeah.
And I think
so. We no longer have your crew anymore, Thad.
Mm-hmm.
Of this crew. It doesn't mean that we won't get another one. Just saying, this crew is definitely it's gone. I mean, and unfortunately, it's gone. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. I mean, we don't get Cara Dune lives, and
so does Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed lives. No, you got his name wrong. It's Carl Weathers.
It's Carl Weathers.
Even when he was Apollo Creed, he was still Carl Weathers. It was Carl Weathers playing Apollo Creed.
Okay.
Yeah, get it right, man. But no, like these two are going to be main characters. And in season 2, we will see them again. We may not see them a lot, but we will definitely see them again. Those are my thoughts. So, but seriously, like that moment when he gives up his life, and again, because like Quill said, if you accept me, you accept my works, which is a very like Jesus thing to say. I mean,
do you trust me and you trust my work?
Yeah, if you trust me, you'll trust my work. And it's like, come on, man, you didn't. Anyways, before I go too off the rails, like you're right, Nev. He gave his life to save the child, and to save the rest of them. It wasn't just the child. And
well, yeah, but his programming was specifically was for the child. Yeah. You know, if there'd been another way to save the child, then he would have thought of it and he would have done that. But like I said, that's Quill programming this droid to care of nothing except protecting Quill and protecting this child. Which he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to reprogram him to be like a nurse, a nurse droid or anything like that. He was already there to protect Quill.
Yeah.
And maybe if he hadn't reprogrammed him, IG-11 had got out of the ship in time, he might have been able to save Quill. Because, and Quill might not have perished the way he did, which still bugs the crap out of me, being taken out by a scout trooper. I mean,
it's like
he didn't die in like a, go down in a blaze of glory in like a fight. I hate the way that Quill passed away. It was a sucky way to die. It was,
but I felt like it was in keeping with Star Wars and the no value on life when it comes to the Empire.
IG's death was brilliant. It's like that's going out in a blaze. That's like crashing a moon down on you type death.
Absolutely.
That's just walking out into a field of bad guys, and it's like, bye bye guys.
Boom. And then and then after the self-destruct, we do get Moff Gideon in his TIE fighter,
which was cool moments,
which was cool. And and he grabs the jetpack and goes after Moff Gideon, taking out one of the wings with the thermal detonator.
Mm-hmm.
And Moff Gideon's TIE tumbles to the ground. Now, this was the reveal that everybody was looking for, and or that everybody was talking about. And as soon as it was over, we heard, and there was the Darksaber.
Such a cool. I had so many people calling me like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
You don't know what that is? That's the Darksaber.
That's the Darksaber. Oh God!
Go on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and watch fans go nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Mist and Warrior. We had this whole twist. We were all going nuts. It's like, oh my God, that's the Darksaber, for God's sake.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It was such an awesome reveal. The bad guy survived because it's like, we know very, very little about him.
Yeah.
And then his TIE fighter crashes and you're thinking to yourself, really, John? Really? We know nothing about this bad guy and you're just going to crash him into a rock and that's it. And we're never going to see it. But it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And not only am I not going to do that, but he's going to cut his way out of his ship with the Darksaber. So I'm thinking, so I was literally, when I'm watching that, I was having visions of, Snoke getting killed in The Last Jedi. And then he cuts his way out of the ship. And I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. The bad guy lives, the bad guy. I was rooting for the bad guy to live.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and all of a sudden my mind exploded with possibilities. Okay, so we know that he took part in the Night of 1,000 Tears, and he was there on Mandalore when all of that went down.
He's the one who supposedly, if it's direct lineage, he is the one to put down Bo-Katan.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it makes me, but we're gonna see him in Rebels, not Rebels, Clone Wars. Like we're gonna see him, right? Maybe not a straight.
Maybe not as Moff Gideon, but as an ISB officer.
Yeah. ISB Agent Gideon, yeah.
And
ISB,
Agent Gideon.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Gideon or something like that. Agent Gideon.
But Bo-Katan was given the Darksaber in Rebels. So
and so it won't be a direct, like, she was...
Yeah, we won't see the death of Bo-Katan unless it's a flashback.
Yeah. Or a flash forward.
Well, we need some linkage from Rebels to the Mandalorian then, basically.
Yeah, and that's what I have heard.
Yeah, we need some linkage between those series.
It'll be a book. Careful.
Oh,
don't wish for something unless you want it.
No, not a book. I want it on Disney Plus. I don't want a book. I don't want a comic. Just put it on the goddamn TV.
Okay. So with that is a great segue. Let's give us our ranks, and then let's talk about what's next for the show. Okay? Let's go with the whole series so far. Season 1, how do you rank it? Out of 5 Beskar, what are your thoughts? I'll start, and I'll just say, I would say 4.7 Beskar out of 5. There were a few moments that lulled a little bit, but in hindsight, now that the season is completed, they all worked together. They all fit together. Nothing really pulled me out of the stories. Nothing really made me think, oh, this is weird, or this I don't understand. I don't like this. I have nothing but good things to say about The Mandalorian. And with that, I am excited for everything that is coming on Disney Plus related to Star Wars. So 4.7 Beskar out of 5.
Nev, I defer to you.
Well, I watched every single episode back to back while I was sick in bed earlier on because I wanted to get a feel for what it is like to binge watch. I wanted to binge watch it because sometimes you can get a really good feel for a TV show if you have the time available to binge watch something. It flows wonderfully. There are a few lulls. I'm still jarred by the Twi'lek. I'm still jarred by her. The whole, acting like a cat, hissing and licking her lip. That was something that bugged me, and it kept on. It still continues to pull me out of the episode. So I didn't like the way that the actor and the actress portrayed Twi'leks in that. It was a bit too jarring for me, and I still don't like the actor that they got to do the new bounty hunter in The Gunslinger. I think that could have been probably cast a little bit better as well. Nothing against the actors or the actresses. I just think that the type of character, sometimes you get a hit and miss with those things. So apart from those things, I was very, very happy with it. I still the whole healing thing instantaneously. When Carl Weathers scratch, I mean, I still, when I'm watching that, it was weird. I watched it for the second time and I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, he's going to suck the poison out of him. And then it's like, no, he doesn't do that. He just heals him straight away. I think that they went over the top with that. They should have just had Baby Yoda suck the poison, and then the poison would have, and then they could have just bandaged him up, because once the poison's no longer there, it's just a scratch on his arm that they're bandaging up and spraying with Bacta. So I still think they went a little bit over the top, way over the top with the Jedi powers on that. But apart from that, I'm putting it down as a overall 4.7. I cannot wait for them to hit season 2. Season 2, I get to the end of binge watching it and I want to binge watch the whole thing again. And I've not been like that for Star Wars. I don't want to binge, it's not like a movie. It's not like one of the I don't want to watch the movies over and over and over. Well, original trilogy maybe. But this TV show, I just want to watch it over and over and over and over again. It's like the movie A Fish Called Wanda. I can never, ever get bored with that movie. You know, I could never get bored with this TV show. I could watch this TV show over and over again, and I'm still going to be enthralled by it. Just like I laugh at all of the jokes in A Fish Called Wanda, no matter how many times I watch it.
And that should tell you a lot about Neil, everybody. All right. So I've been critical about the episodes and the CGI, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been critical about I've been critical about a lot of things with this, but I still tend to give it a good rating. Looking at the season as a whole, the entire series so far has united Star Wars fans, with the exception of that one guy who says that Baby Yoda's gimmick screwed him.
Well, there's always an exception to the rule.
But of course, because they could
to the rule,
because they could say it on the internet, that means other people apparently believe in that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, even with CGI issues that I've had with it, even with deaths of characters, even with the absence of IG-11 in every single damn episode, I am going forward and I am giving this a 4.9.
Ooh.
4.9 out of 5 Beskar. Even with things that people had that I might have had problems with, that the storytelling was great. Dave and John, wonderful job.
Hands down.
They pulled the feels for everything. Honestly.
Yeah, they did.
And so therefore, a standing round of applause for this entire season. You know, it's
you didn't stand.
I can't.
Sorry, I didn't get drunk for the last episode, everybody. My apologies. I know you're accustomed to seeing me with a bourbon in hand, and you know, maybe when we come back to do other things. Oh, other things, he says.
Okay.
Other things.
So sorry, Paul, finish up.
No, so that's it. 4.9. The only thing was fix the CGI a little bit more. That's the only time that it pulled me out, was seeing, here, let me use the Kowakian monkey lizard for example. This is not CGI. Animate the cape. That's all I'm asking for.
Although I gotta say, that was probably the best graphics that we've had on the show ever. That was hands down amazing. So Nev, you brought up the idea that we're going to be talking about other things. There are other shows that are coming to Netflix. The ones that we know are being made currently.
They're coming to Netflix.
Sorry, not Netflix.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. But there are shows coming to Netflix. I'm watching The Witcher, which is...
Yeah, we need to do The Witcher because I've watched them all, and I'm going to go back and watch them again. So you want to do The Witcher next weekend, mate? I will happily sit down and review that with you.
So
loved it.
I have not seen The Witcher. You guys can do Yakking Witcher all you want.
Yakking Witcher. No, but like the idea, there's a lot of stuff coming to Disney Plus. We know that season 7 of Clone Wars is coming to Disney Plus, and is supposed to launch sometime in the spring, so April-ish. They are working on a season 2 already. Like, it sounds like it's been written, and filming either has started or will start shortly. So I don't know if they can get it out within a year, but like, I wouldn't put it past them.
More episodes, longer episodes.
Oh, please.
I want more and I want them longer. 8 episodes is not enough. They need to do more. It needs to be at least 12.
I agree. 100%. And that seems to be when you have shows like this that are
pilot
seasons, you get a few that are, here and there. They did move towards longer episodes toward the end. So I agree 100%. But we also have a Cassian Andor series that has been shot, from my understanding. We have a Kenobi series that is going to be shot and should appear, I think next year, and that's 2021.
I thought
it could.
I'll double check on that. I'll double check.
No, it's 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2020. They announced it was 2020 at last year.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they did. Well,
So
we're on the first, so it was last year.
Okay.
They brought him up on stage when they did all of the. When what's his face announced all of the new Phase 4 Marvel crap that I'm not really that interested in. But during that same event, KKK brought out Ewan McGregor to talk about the TV series that he's going to be in 2020.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yay!
So Nev, you said earlier that there's one show that you've heard rumor of.
Yeah.
Can you give us some more thought about that?
Salacious rumor. The director, I don't know what his name is, but he's on Twitter. So, he's a blue check mark on Twitter. So blue check marks on Twitter, they're people, real people. So he was the director for the movie Crazy Rich Asians. I think that's what the movie of the show was, and it did really, really well. Apparently, it was a really, really good comedy, very successful. And he basically tweeted to Disney that he should be given the character of Rose Tico, and he will do a Rose Tico show on Disney Plus. And I was like, yeah, no, that really wouldn't work. I didn't respond to the tweet because there's no way on God's green earth I would respond to a Star Wars tweet like that, because you're just asking for it, Because
someone probably said what you said, and you don't have to get angry about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm not going to get angry about it.
So I'm looking at this. It's to begin filming this year.
Okay.
And something I didn't know that took me back while I was looking it up. Deborah Chow is directing all the episodes.
And she was
all of the Clone Wars ones, or all of the Obi-Wan ones?
All the Obi-Wans.
Yes.
Oh,
all
nice
the Obi-Wan episodes.
So
well, we know that she's been good with the Mandalorian episodes.
Which makes me think, if Deborah Chow's doing that, she's been doing the Mandalorian. We have Bryce Dallas Howard, who's also done Mandalorian. We have Jon Favreau, who's done Mandalorian. There's two others. Tico. I always get his name wrong.
Watiti.
He's done a couple of episodes. Is that right? So if there are 5 directors and one of them is already spoken for, then potentially there are 4 others that could.
That's what they get. That's why I would definitely agree. That is something that they should, split them off and give them their own show, something that they can really, really get their teeth stuck into. And none of the backwards and forwards. Have Dave and John floating around everything, because you need that creativity from those guys anyway. So you get the creative input from them as the executive producers and as the creative directors. But then you go to the director. It's like, this is our vision for this show. You've worked with us on The Mandalorian, so you should be able to deliver as a director our vision for what we want on this show, and that's perfect. So The Mandalorian is the proving ground for all of the directors. So John and Dave, really, really work with all of these directors, and it's like, what we want. You can see what our vision is, and how to direct it. Now we want you to do it with your own shows, and that would just be awesome.
Now, Nev, you said you weren't excited for a Cassian Andor series, and
no, I wouldn't be. No,
but I gotta say, and I understand your reasoning. You told me that you said that you just didn't develop a connection to Cassian.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't a character that I really, really developed, a connection with from a movie-based point of view. So it would be difficult for me to. It would be difficult for me to, get invested in a show solely about that character. but that's not to say that if they make a good show, that I would watch and enjoy, then that's all well and good. I'm just saying it's not something that I would rush out to watch.
That makes sense.
Okay, well you're not going to rush out. You're not going to rush out to watch it, Nev. I'll give you that. But seriously, my friend, you knew nothing about Din Djarin before The Mandalorian. Yes, you know a little bit about Cassian Andor, but how about a backstory in a way that you didn't even understand yet?
And let me add to that, a backstory featuring Bail Organa and the concept of fulcrum. Because that's who Cassian Andor is. He is a fulcrum. He is one of Bail's informants. He's one of Bail's spies.
And Pon, I always forget how to say your name. Pon is saying if Alan Tudyk is going to play K2, then I'm sold. I believe that's confirmed.
That is 100% confirmed. He is absolutely doing it. I do
like him as an actor.
He's good.
Yeah, every time I watch Dodgeball, he cracks me up as a pirate.
Especially when he's
Yarr. Arr.
Hey.
Steve the pirate.
Yeah, excellent
the guy
actor.
Just as the pirate. Actor. What?
I love at the very end. He's like, "Hey, it's Steve the pirate." He's not dressed as a pirate anymore. That's wonderful. I might have to watch that tonight. Okay, so Cassian Kenobi. There are two others. Oh, okay. Rumors, and I'm going to do a whole video on this. There's a few other rumors that I have heard. One rumor is a Darth Maul series.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that, but did you see the tweet about it? Somebody instantly tweeted back to them. To the people asking and talking about this rumor realize he died during Rebels?
Yeah, but
which kills. Yeah.
No, but that's the thing though. Is there's so much still there.
You want to try do a black. You want to try do a. I suppose you could do a Black Widow with Maul, but it would be limited to how far back they go. If you catch my drift.
Yep. No, I know
a whole thing about him leading Crimson Dawn, the end of Solo.
Yeah.
That could be the lead-in right there to a Darth Maul series.
It could explain also the whole Palpatine and the sequel trilogy, right?
I could see a Darth Maul TV show where he's putting together this criminal underworld, but I couldn't see a TV show where it starts off with him as the head honcho. He's the boss right at the top.
Well,
I think it would be more exciting. It would be more exciting. Especially in the first couple of seasons, watching him put together the organization and going around the galaxy and
so he's gathering a crew.
So he's gathering together all of the
everyone
worst
needs a crew,
of the worst. You know, so it's like a Breaking Bad or a Dexter type show. It's an anti-hero. He is the anti-hero,
and that's what I'm thinking is happening.
That would work. Now, I could see something like that working.
Yeah. Now here's the other one, and I just heard this recently, so I don't know how much merit to even give this, but a Jedi Luke from the fall of the Empire to the rise of the Force Awakens, or to the fall of his concept, Luke's fall, right?
The fall of the Academy.
Fall of the Academy. Yeah. So whether that is
you're treading in Thrawn trilogy territory there. You are treading in Thrawn trilogy territory there, and that is what everybody wants. But we all know Disney are never going to deliver it.
Oh no! I 100% disagree.
I will do something very, very unpleasant to myself if Disney go back on their word, reinstate that EU trilogy and do that on Disney Plus. I will do something that I unpleasant to myself.
1 hour, 19 minutes into episode 8. Everybody mark this time in
They're
your
not
calendar.
going to, though, so I don't have to worry about it because they don't make, they do not make, they do not make good business decisions. They do not make good business decisions. But since you've said it, yeah, fine. They will not reinstate the original Thrawn trilogy and do that as a TV show because it would make them millions.
It would. It absolutely would.
It would make them an absolute fortune in merchandise.
And you have to get the quote around her head.
Okay. So hold on.
Not saving what we love, not fighting what we hate, but saving what we love.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna walk this back. I am. Nev, there's no way I'm gonna make you get a Rose Tico tattoo. We can choose a different tattoo of your sort if you want to go that direction. But here's why.
My body does not have any tattoos.
Well, then that's number 2. But here's why. That they start testing these things, right? Any business does that. They started with the comics. We saw, or they started with the books. We saw book 1, and then they gave us the end of the comic of book 1, right? For Thrawn. Then they actually, I guess they started with Rebels, and then they gave us the book, and then once they gave us the book, they expanded it into a trilogy, or it was a trilogy set the whole time. Then that went into a comic. All of those things have been very well received, to the point that there is another trilogy featuring Thrawn set to air this year, in April to June. One of those 3.
Yeah, April of the first book for the Chiss trilogy.
Yes, and it's called The Ascendancy, right? Or Thrawn Ascendancy.
Yes. Yeah, I was letting Neil know what the topic was.
Yeah, so it is a Chiss related book, and it is going to feature more content into that unknown region, Chiss space. It's going to enter.
Please give me Rook back.
Rook. We might get Rook back. I don't know.
They need to bring that entire race back.
They probably will. I think they will. But that's the thing. Is they're already building it. They're building more, and to say that they're not going to connect it somehow to this book.
They're not going to connect it how the fans want it connected.
Well, maybe not, but to say that it's not going to end up as a Star Wars TV show on Disney Plus, I think the odds are not in your favor on this one. And I don't want to have you get a
no. What I said was they will not take that trilogy and they won't make it into a TV show. It'll never happen.
They won't take care of
You can't say, they'll pull Thrawn out and make a trilogy.
Gotcha.
Pulling Thrawn out of his books and saying, let's make a trilogy is not taking that trilogy.
I see what you're saying.
It's not taking, we're talking about Last Command. We're talking about Heir to the Empire. We're talking about the original Thrawn trilogy.
Bet than Neil. I thought you were saying that they were going to take a Thrawn trilogy. I was like, whoa.
No, they're not. No, I mean they'll do that. Of course, they'll do that. They'll take a character that they can make money of, rip it out,
and we all know,
throw it in a blender, and it's like just give us something so that we can merchandise.
This is the way.
That's it.
And we all know that that there is no Jaina and Jason and all that.
See, that's the thing. They bring all of that in. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
We've mentioned that, man. Baby Yoda is the new Jaina Solo.
No, what I mean is that they start from scratch and they just recast the entire cast.
Now, you're probably right. They're not going to take.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be easy for people to accept a new act. 2 new male actors and an actress playing Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. But it's the only way it's going to work.
But
it's the only way it's going to work.
That's
moving forward, unless they just want to do completely and utterly brand new stories and just rip stuff off from various different books and comics. Yeah. But then the comic or the book has to be good that they're ripping off. And the thing is, we're already getting books and comics that have been retro or ripped off from other books. So
Sure.
you look at books and comics from the 90s and the early noughties, and then Disney's taken that, and it's like they've gone to writers and authors and comic book writers and said, right, redo this, but in a new canon. So it's like, with the one exception of Timothy Zahn, I mean, I didn't see them banging down Michael Stackpole's door asking him to write some new stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think so.
All right.
But that we do have to end. This has been the season finale of Talking Mando.
Oh, we didn't get to do show and tell.
Oh, we still have time. Do it, Paul. Start us off. You've got some great news.
Well, no. I want to know. I want to understand why Darth Vader has a white lightsaber in back of Nev.
I know. I don't understand why it's a white lightsaber and not a red
turned.
one either.
That's Darth Vader redeemed.
I'll tell you. Here. There's your red lightsaber.
Yeah.
There's your red lightsaber. Thank you to. I don't know if I could mention my sponsor, but thank you to my Trivia Night sponsor for helping Christy and I get to Galaxy's Edge. I was able to make a personalized lightsaber, as you see, which was awesome. And also, in addition to that, we also, while at Galaxy's Edge, I got the Quakian monkey lizard, as you saw.
Or as me and Thaddeus like to think of it, lunch.
May I? Well, let me make sure I do this the right way. This is the way.
This is the way.
Say hello to.
This is the way.
P4U1.
I may have to get one of those.
Yes, and you will. They're very fun, and you can also get the small. You can get the BB units as well, in addition to the extra mix. But after seeing the other content creators that have had a choice to do things like this, I saw one with the blue lightsaber. I saw one with a black BB unit. So I decided I'll go the Empire route. And
no.
So
go ahead, Neb.
Thank you to my Trivia Night sponsor for helping make that happen.
I don't mind you saying.
And also, I do have to say this. Also, thank you to I'm going to mention them now. Thad, I'm sorry. Deneb from the ANZGC and his girl, as he likes to say, Mallory. You guys helped make this happen by giving us a place to stay during the trip, and also getting Christy to Harry Potter. I know I said this in person, but I want to publicly thank you guys as well. From the bottom of our heart, you guys made the end of 2019 the best that it could be after it being the worst beginning to 2019 that anyone could ever imagine. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to stop talking before I cry.
Yeah, and I want to say one of the things that I love about Star Wars, and Nev and Paul, hold on, let me rephrase that. Paul and I disagree with Nev on the sequel trilogy vehemently. But one of the things I love about Star Wars is the community, and even today, I was having breakfast with some of my neighbors, and we were talking about Star Wars, and they were asking questions and talking, and I just love how even if you have a different opinion on something, it brings this content brings us together in more ways than it divides us, and I love that. I love that. So thank you guys for helping out Paul, and I think that's wonderful. Nev, hit us up.
Yes.
You always have new toys.
I always have new stuff, don't I? Okay, so as you can see, what's behind me, there's stuff on the shelf behind me. So, where's my hand?
Attached to your arm.
I need to figure out where my hand is on the camera.
This is Nev.
Okay, so
point towards
here.
The anarchy. Oh, okay.
I got this here,
Stage left,
which is a wonderful thing. Stage left. I have to take the earphones out.
Yeah, it's fine.
We don't want to hear.
Well, Nev can't hear us, Thaddeus. He sucks. He sucks.
But we've got an original Star Wars Collector Series Sand Trooper. Yeah, really, really happy with that because I love anything that's Kenner. So I got that, which I thought was really, really nice.
He's gone. Badmouth him. Badmouth him.
Obviously, I got a Lego.
Right.
Yes, he does have a red light.
Oh, he does.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And the lights are all on the white side.
That
Not
makes
quite sure
sense.
why.
I'm telling you, it's Darth Vader redeemed.
It's not the dark side.
Oh. And I did get some origami as well, which I plan on putting in the new studio. But then I got a bunch of these infinites as well. So I think these.
The Boba Fett Infinity.
I think these infinites are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So we got a Boba Fett, and then I got the crew. So we got Chewie. I think that Chewie is absolutely just I love the detail in it. So I got a Chewie. Leia's awesome. How badass does she look in that?
Well, okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go. You guys can badmouth me for a second. I am about to go get one of my very, very favorite special things that Christy got for me on this trip. I'll be right back.
We didn't badmouth Nev. What are you talking about, Paul? Now.
So I did actually get something in a display cabinet. I got a Stormtrooper on a speeder from my sister, which was kind of cool as well.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely, you could tell that the whole thing was made.
Yeah. Because
it's on a picture frame. Inside a display cabinet, inside a display case, glued inside that, and it's like I said, it's a Stormtrooper on top of a speeder bike. Cool. So it's so that was from my sister. I also got a Star Wars mug, which has got Vader on it. It's a black coffee mug, huge coffee mug, holds a lot of coffee. I do like my coffee, but it says I find your lack of caffeine disturbing. And then I also got a one of those hangers, door hangers. When I'm in, it's Yoda on one side, and when I'm out, it's Vader.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right.
Okay. So
Paul, at Disney Springs, there is a Lego store. And they told me this, whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. But they claim that they have one of the only 3 in the world custom Lego minifigure creator stations.
I know they do. Go ahead.
So Christy took the time. She got up from the walker. She came over to the custom creation station. And I first put on the back, and let me see if I kill the light here, if that helps. I put on the back. Nope, not going to help. There's a 37 in Paul Anthony on the front. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it.
Is that you?
Let me see if I. There we go. You can kind of see it.
You got an escape podcast.
It's an official escape podcast.
Wow, that is so cool.
That is awesome.
That is so cool. That is really cool.
Yes. That is
awesome. So that was one of my favorite show and tells. And of course he is wearing shorts and an escape pod shirt, has the beard.
That's awesome. Now, I'm actually...
That is a very cool show and tell.
I'm heading out to Disneyland at the end of this month with my family, and I'll be spending some time at that Lego station. And I do want to...
Well, that one's in Orlando.
But there's a Lego store, I think. I know there's a store at the one in...
I don't know if they... Tell me if they have the custom...
Yeah.
I can kind of see it better.
I don't know. But that would be awesome. That is awesome, by the way. I don't have much to show.
Oh, there you go.
Got There you go. I like that. Oh, there you go. It zoomed in. Perfect. That's awesome. That's
And then
that's awesome.
So there you go.
between now and my trip, I wanted to make a shirt that says "What would Hondo do?" And wear it when I go to Galaxy's Edge. But as far as Christmas goes, this is one of my newest toys. I got Zori Bliss.
Zori Bliss.
Who
Nice.
I liked in the story. And I don't know if I showed you guys these, but I got...
Bays.
So I was looking on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, right before Christmas, and there was someone selling these, and they were selling 7 of them for $25. And so I got 7, and these are just the ones that I grabbed quickly. I grabbed a few other ones, but I've got... it was awesome. I got a few of them. I will most likely... I've already purchased my Baby Yoda 10-inch Funko life-size bobblehead, and
I got my puzzle. I got the Mandalorian puzzle that was released yesterday. That was waiting for me when I got back from Galaxy's Edge.
I will be making some Baby Yodas out of wool soon.
Did you finally get the green?
I've got some green, but because I'm ill, there was no way I was touching it. It's stayed in a bag.
That's smart.
Good.
I'm not going to make. If I'm ill, I've been writing. All I've literally done is I've sat in bed and wrote parodies in my notebook. That's it. That's all I've done is written parodies. I did a Billy Idol parody, a Queen parody.
I still love my Thrawn Niv.
Yeah, well, I'm doing baby versions. I've got a baby Thrawn.
Oh, you definitely need to show some people that later on.
Yeah. But yes, so I just didn't want to start, making pom-poms while I was ill, I wouldn't want somebody making something for me if they were ill, like sneezing and coughing. So yeah, I got the wool and it's just, sealed in a bag. I'm not going to get it out until I'm 100%, but that'll be in the new year and I will make a Baby Yoda and I will show you it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the orders will flood in.
So our next episode of, I mean, you guys can definitely do Yakking Witcher. I think that'd be a great segue until the next Star Wars show's released. But we'll definitely be doing more stuff with the castaways here. I loved doing this week in and week out. Yeah. Thank you for everything, Thad, for allowing us space on your channel to come talk with you. And it has meant so much to us.
I've loved this.
I've loved it.
This is one of the things I look forward to this every week and have looked forward to this every week. I'd love to have you guys back on, and maybe one day we can do, as more rumors come in about shows that are coming out, we can talk about shows. We can talk about even shows we'd love to see, kind of as we've done tonight. But there are more shows coming, and this will kick, I think, back up officially. And if you guys correct me if I'm wrong here, but officially when Clone Wars hits Disney Plus.
I think that's March, right?
I think so too.
March, April. It's going to be one of those 2 months. Yeah.
We don't have an official date yet, or I haven't seen one. So.
And what we'll do, even if they drop it all on us all at once, I think we'll do one at a time, one episode at a time.
I think so too.
And spread it out.
Yeah.
But the hard part will not to want to go ahead and binge watch it all. And then be like, oh, yeah, well, because of what happened in the first episode, something happened.
Yeah.
We're talking about the first episode. Shut up.
Stop talking. Stop. That will be a difficult thing. So I do think they're gonna follow that same trend. Will it be a weekly login type thing? Especially because now, and we gotta go with this. But now Disney Plus is losing subscribers that The Mandalorian has ended.
That does not surprise me.
Unsubscribing because it's over. So they're going to keep pumping out content and a weekly launch would make sense. So,
I've looked at their content, and their catalog is not. It's not going to keep people enthralled, especially since they haven't put the 20th Century Fox stuff in there.
No,
if they put the 20th Century Fox stuff in there, I think that people would stay.
Yeah.
But until they do that, people are like, yeah, Pixar and Disney, forget about it. It's not worth it.
They do have The Simpsons, but that's...
Yeah, they have The Simpsons, and well, you know, on...
Did we lose Paul?
Out to, it was Diagon Alley that we first went to. I'm here.
Oh, I just stuttered for a second. Hold on.
Okay, so when we went, while in Orlando, we first went to... We traveled through the Simpsons area. I have so many pictures, Thad. I have so many pictures of me in front of iconic places. And I also now have an official Quickie Mart uniform.
Awesome. I'm jealous. You'll have to wear it next time. All right. We got to go because I told my wife it'd be done 10 minutes ago. That being said, as I mentioned, I am going to Star Wars Land at the end of January. I don't have the story Paul does, but if anyone feels
talking Galaxy's Edge,
if anyone feels so inclined to sponsor me to get some toys, you can. I won't be opposed. Again, not to take down from what Paul went through.
Hey, I had to sell. The Mormon had to sell a lot of beer.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Well, and a lot of people appreciated it, I think. So, those drinking, I know Nev would have appreciated it. That being said, guys, we will be back officially when Clone Wars returns. We will have more to that on that as details are launched, as we find out more about when and how it's going to be launched. And then we'll have stuff periodically between now and then, just to keep doing this. This has been a lot of fun. But with that, guys, this is the end of Season 1, Talking Mando, with myself, Thaddeus, Paul, and the Nev, as members of the Escape Pod Castaways Network, Content Creator Network. As always, my friends.
Yep.
Smile. Wait, hold on.
I'll take it. I'll take it here because I just want to make sure that everybody remembers to always smile.
And, oh my gosh, that's terrifying. And stay nerdy. Have a great one, guys. Have a good year.